Here's more late news. Dublin. Prime Minister de Valera warns the people of Ireland to be prepared for war. But he says Ireland is continuing its policy of strict neutrality in the spreading hostilities. In his warning, de Valera said war might come to Ireland, quote, as a thief in the night. Moscow. The Red Russian army is striving to drive the Germans into a full Napoleonic retreat on all three Russian fronts. And tonight they're still sweeping the Germans before them in the north, the center, and the south. Canberra, Australia. The Australians have started blackouts, and in Sydney the people are sandbagging buildings. Munitions workers are keeping war industries going 24 hours a day. They've also offered to abandon their holidays, and Australian youths are flocking to the recruiting stations in increasing numbers. London. The British Communist Party urges the closest coordination of the Allied forces. An official statement describes the Japanese attack as fascism's offensive for the enslavement of the world. This report came to you from the NBC newsroom.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. Each week at this time from Hollywood, California, Kraft presents Harold Perry as The Great Gildersleeve, written by Leonard L. Levinson. We'll hear from The Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But first, maybe some of us accept progress without giving it much thought. Why, nowadays, most people take the wonders of radio and the airplane for granted. Yet, when you stop and think, these modern developments are really astounding. And, of course, there's been a lot of progress in foods, too. Take margarine, for example. Modern margarine like Parquet. The margarine made by Kraft. Why, people who haven't tasted margarine for a long time are amazed when they discover how deliciously good Parquet tastes. That's because Parquet margarine isn't just an ordinary margarine. It's as different from old-time margarine as the modern automobile is from the horseless carriage. You see, Parquet margarine is outstanding because of the rich delicacy of its flavor. Also because it's an economical source of food values your whole family needs. Yes, unlike old-time margarines, Parquet margarine contains important vitamin A, 9,000 units in every pound. Besides that, Parquet margarine is about as nourishing and wholesome an energy food as you could serve. So don't put it off. Try this delicious modern margarine tomorrow. Remember, it's Parquet. P-A-R-K-A-Y. And now let's visit our friend, the Great Gildersleeve.
Laundry for month of November, $24.32. I never saw such a clean family in my life. Groceries for the month, $103. For such a hungry family, either. Gas, water, and... hello, Leroy. Light for the month amounted to... What is it, Leroy?
Oh, gee, Uncle Mort, I just hate to mention this to you.
Well, Leroy, if you hate it so much, don't do it, especially if it's about money.
How did you know, Unc?
You combed your hair, put on a tie, and tucked in your shirt. Anytime I see so much change in you, it means a little more change out of me.
Oh, but, Unc, with Christmas practically here, I'm a little shy.
Shy? You don't seem very shy to me.
I mean, I'm embarrassed. Financially embarrassed.
What about all those Christmas presents you were making in your manual training and handcraft classes in school?
Well, all my plans went haywire.
Yeah?
Gee, I made a keen smoking stand for you, Uncle Mort.
Well...
Only I could never get the legs even. Gosh, I must have sawed them 30 times.
Well...
Say, Unc, you'd just as soon have a footstool, wouldn't you?
Yes, of course, of course.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, I fixed all your favorite things to eat for lunch. Is there anything special you might be wishing for in addition?
Yes, Bertie. Quit stuffing me just so you can hit me for another advance on your salary.
Why, Mr. Gildersleeve, you positively can read my mind even before I mix it up.
Yeah. Bertie, I can't let you have any more advances. Your salary is so overdrawn right now that it needs a blood transfusion.
But I don't need my January salary. I just want to nibble into February.
Bertie, you've eaten halfway through March already.
That's bad. But I made some powerful miscalculations in my Christmas figures. I added up 2 zeros, and all the time there should have been an 8.
Well, I'm having enough trouble with my own bookkeeping. By George, I wish I had the bookkeeper here that I had at my girdle works. He was a wizard with figures.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, hello, Marjorie.
Oh, say, Uncle Mort, speaking of figures, my checking account is all in a mess. I'm going to need $50 more for my Christmas shopping.
No, see here, all of you. There won't be any more money available in this household till the first of the month.
Why? Well, what happened?
Well, last Monday I rushed down to the bank and put all our money into defense bonds and stamps.
I'm glad you did.
Yes, I'm afraid I overdid a little bit, though. I gave them all our ready cash.
Well, Uncle Mort, what have you been using for spending money since?
Well, Marjorie, do you remember my collection of rare buffalo nickels?
Yes.
Well, they've gone the way of the buffalo. But I don't mind, though. I want to do everything I can to help.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I'm all riled up myself. I want to join the Japanese army.
You what?
Why, Bertie, what do you mean?
Well, I'd like to cook for them people for just one day, that's all.
Yes, Bertie, I see what you mean. Anyway, we won't mind skipping a few things this Christmas, will we, children? After all, half of what we buy each other always winds up in the storeroom anyway. Say, I've got an idea.
Yes, Uncle Mort?
Let's see what we can sell out of that storeroom, huh?
Of course, I never thought of that. Come on, let's look now.
Yes, come on, everybody, come on.
Must be a million things in here.
Yes. What did I tell you? Look.
Oh, look. Maybe I can sell that old dress for her.
But you done promised that to me, Miss Marge.
Oh, isn't that dress form a little little for you, Bertie?
No, sir. I just measures everything on that, and then I multiply by 3, and that's me.
Yes, I see. Well, Leroy, you've certainly outgrown that old scooter of yours there.
Yeah, but I need the wheels to make a wagon. You know how things are these days. A man can't go around wasting rubber.
Yeah.
Say, how about selling buck?
Buck?
Yes, that's what we call the iron deer in the corner.
Oh, that.
Used to stand out on the lawn. Yeah, until one Christmas Eve when Grandpa thought he was Santa Claus and tried to ride it home all night long.
There's a powerful lot of iron in that animal. It ought to be worth some money. Ain't scrap iron valuable when a country's scrapping?
Yes, sir. I think we can get a little dough out of that deer. I'll tell you what we'll do. If any of you can sell it, you can keep the proceeds.
Me too, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Yes, of course, Bertie. However, I'll deduct the money out of your April wages.
Hey, I better get busy. Maybe this will be the beginning of my entire business career.
Yeah.
Hello, is this Skinner Salvage and Scrap Company that buys anything from a safety pin to a second-hand skyscraper?
That's me.
Mr. Skinner, I got a big business deal for you. What are you paying for scrap iron these days?
80 cents a hundred. How much you got?
Oh, plenty. You better come out and see me. 747 Parkside Avenue.
Okay, who's just talking?
Just ask for Mr. Leroy Forrester. And remember, don't buy it from anybody else. Hot dog. Now I'll get the money to buy Marjorie that swell chemistry set I liked so much for Christmas.
Yes, this is the Summerfield Ironworks. Phelps speaking.
This is Marjorie Forrester.
Oh, how can I be of service, Miss Forrester? It is Miss Forrester, isn't it?
Yes. I want to know if your company is interested in purchasing a quantity of used iron.
Why, yes, we are. In what form is this iron?
Really? It's a little dear.
Oh, we won't quibble about prices, Miss Forrester.
No, you don't understand, silly. It's an iron deer.
An electric iron, darling?
No. An iron deer. Deer. A fawn's husband. You better let the buyer come out and see for himself.
A buyer? Why, I'd like to see what the little deer looks like myself. And I'd like to come face to face with that lovely voice of yours.
Really, Mr. Phelps? You're a fast worker. And now, oh, dear, no, I've got to go to the hair appointment now. Oh, what am I saying? Come out about 12:30, Mr. Phelps. Goodbye.
Hello? Is this Josephus Bush, the presiding potentate of the excruciating orders of the sons of Pharaoh? You's otherwise known as Joe the Junkman. Well, this is Bertie Lee Coggins of the Sister Lodge, the mysterious and bewildering order of the daughters of Cleopatra. Greetings from the grand exhausted ruler of the pyramids. Yeah, brother, that's me. Potentate, you know whereabouts I work on Parkside Avenue? Well, hitch your horse to the wagon and trot right up here. I'll sell you a piece of junk that's really a piece of high-class junk. What is it? Well, I don't know for sure, but it's something in the shape of a mule, only it's got his head stuck in a hat rack.
Leroy, can't you sit still a moment? You've been running to the door like a strip of hall carpet.
Well, it's on account I'm waiting for Mr. Skinner.
Skinner, what does he do?
He buys anything from a safety pin to a second-hand skyscraper. I'm going to sell him buck.
Well, how much is he going to pay you?
80 cents a 100 pounds, and that deer must weigh a couple of 1,000 pounds at least.
Oh, no, Leroy. You'll be lucky if it weighs 200 pounds.
Oh, but it looks heavier than you, Uncle Mort, and you must weigh over...
Never mind what I weigh over, Leroy. Don't forget that deer's hollow, and I'm not.
No, you're not, but he's got horns and you haven't.
But I wear shoes, and he doesn't.
If you're right, then all I'll get will be between $1.50 and $2.
Leroy, we really ought to try to get a better price. Have you called any other junk dealer to bid against your Mr. Skinner?
No, I haven't.
Well, if you had, wait a minute. I know how we can get a decent sum for our cast iron cast-off.
How, Unc?
Competition is the spice of the pudding, my boy. And if Mr. Skinner had a little competition...
I know. You're going to pretend you're another junk man, aren't you, Uncle Mort?
Oh, you went and guessed it.
But Mr. Skinner won't. It's a regular super-duper of a scheme.
You think so? Well, let's try it then. You just introduce me by some other name, some pseudonym, and I'll keep boosting the price up for you.
It'll look fishy unless you put on a hat and coat. You better get old ones.
Oh, yes, yes.
Oh, darn, I bet that's him now.
Skinner? Well, I find an old overcoat and hat. Tell me quickly, Roy.
Right there in the storeroom.
Oh, yes. Sure. Yeah, I better get into something before Leroy comes back with that real junk man. Here's something I've always wanted to wear.
Now, let me get this all clear, kid. Are you sure that you're Mr. Leroy Forrester?
Of course, Mr. Skinner.
Well, then who's this fat gent here with the derby hat and the old army overcoat?
Oh, boy.
What's so funny, young man?
Nothing at all. Mr. Skinner, this is another junk dealer, Mr. Pseudonym.
Yeah. Pleased to meet you, sir.
Hey, what kind of a junk man are you, giving out with a pleased to meet you, sir? And say, I never heard of no local dealer with a name like Sudenheim. Are you a member of the JMCA?
No, however, I am a member of the YMCA.
I mean the Junk and Metal Collectors Association.
Oh.
Are you sure you're a legitimate junk man? You sure don't talk like one.
Oh, well, that's because I come from Boston. We talks this way up that way. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Only one thing. Kind of watch your step around this town. Get it?
Yeah, got it.
Say, how much will you give me for this swell iron deer, huh?
Well, where's the rest of the scrap you want to sell?
That's all there is, isn't it enough?
For Pete's sake. You mean you dragged me all the way here for one rusty mildewed chunk of metal venison?
You mean you don't want it, eh? Well, we'd like to have this little number up in Boston. Yes. Buddy, I'll give you $2 for it.
Hey, if you give that much, you're way off your bean, Mr. Pseudohammer.
What?
It ain't worth it at all. I'll give you 2 1/4.
Why, you little overbearing overbidder. You can't do that to Throckmorton P. Pseudonym. I'll wipe that nasty little grin off your face, and just about I bid $3.
Well, I'll show you the 2 can play at that game. I bid $3.05.
5 cents. You cheapskate, I'll make it $4.
Oh, you do? Well, you can have it, Bumper Belt. I'm through.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't go.
No, don't go. Aren't you going to make another bid?
I should say not. I wouldn't give a cent more than $3.75.
I'll give $3.80.
Gee, don't, Uncle.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, Uncle, huh? Aha! I see it all now. You ain't no junk man.
Yeah?
I can tell from that derby hat you're wearing. You're nothing but a pawnbroker.
What?
Yes, that's it. A pawnbroker. Uncle Mort, they call me.
Hey, kid, you better take my offer. This guy don't look reliable to me.
Well, okay, Mr. Skinner.
Okay, it's a deal. I'll be back this afternoon for this hunk of junk. And by the way, Sooty.
Yes?
I'll give you $1 for that hat and coat you're wearing.
You will?
Yeah, what do you say?
Sold. right, Leroy. You go ahead and shop as far as your $3.75 will take you. I'm going into this bank.
Okay, Uncle Mort.
And remember, Leroy, go straight home as soon as you're finished. Say, who is this fellow coming this way?
I don't know, Unc.
His face is mighty... Oh, yes, of course. Hello, Mr. Llewellyn.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I'd like to have you meet my nephew, Leroy Forrester.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Forrester. Or may I address you as Leroy?
Mr. Llewellyn was formerly your cousin Octavia's secretary, Leroy.
Glad to have made your acquaintance. I gotta go now. So long, Uncle Mort.
Goodbye. Say, Llewellyn, how does it happen that you're still in Summerfield?
Well, I was in such a rush to resign from your cousin's employ, I neglected to collect my last week's salary.
Oh, I see. Did that leave you in an awkward financial position?
It left me stranded high and dry.
Yes.
Willie, I'm rather discouraged and depressed.
Oh, now, Llewellyn, old chap, remember every cloud has a silver lining.
Okay, every cloud has a silver lining, so what? Can I take a silver lining to my landlady and say, here, Mrs. Rafferty, this is to pay the rent? Or can I slice it like bologna and have it for lunch? Or can I use the silver lining in my shoes instead of weather?
No, of course not. I didn't realize your predicament.
Well,
it happens that I need some clerical assistance. Would you like a job?
Oh, most emphatically.
Oh. Do you know anything about bookkeeping?
Oh, yeah, double entry, profit and loss, wedges. Let me recite my experiences.
That isn't necessary. I'll give you a trial.
You will?
Yes. I really need a bookkeeper badly. And I imagine that's just how you keep books.
Oh, you don't know how glad I really am. This means I won't have to take the job that was offered to me.
Oh, you had a position you could have taken.
Oh, yes. I could have gone to work reading news flashes on the radio. They said I'd be a woo-woo.
Bertie! Oh, Bertie!
Yeah, it's you, Leroy. What's all the fuss for?
Somebody swiped Buck, the iron deer. The man I sold it to was here just now, and we couldn't find it anyplace.
Of course not. The man I sold it to just hauled it away.
You sold it too? Jeepers, now we're in a mess. Mr. Skinner is coming back in 3 hours.
Well, just give him a refund on his money.
I can't. I spent it. Besides, he told me to have the deer here or he'd go to the police station.
What for? They ain't got no deers there. Only bulls.
Well, Skinner's going to have me arrested for selling what I haven't got if I can't deliver what he thought he was paying for when he bought what you just sold.
Well, say that over again and take out the lump.
He's going to get me arrested for selling him a disappearing iron deer. Oh, hello, Uncle Mort. Hello, Mr. Llewellyn.
Hello.
Gee, Uncle Mort, we're in a jam.
A jam? What's wrong?
You remember Mr. Skinner who bought the deer for $3.75?
Yes?
Well, he didn't.
How could he didn't?
Well, when he came to pick it up, Bertie had already sold it to somebody else. And now Skinner says he's going to have me arrested if he doesn't get the deer back.
Oh, my. And I had a lot of matters to straighten out with Mr. Llewellyn here this afternoon.
Well, let's do him later.
Huh?
What's wrong with your ears, Bertie? Mr. Llewellyn said let's do him later.
Uh-huh.
But there's only one thing to do, and that's to get the deer back. Who'd you sell it to, Bertie?
Josephus Bush.
Oh, yes, Joe Bush. I've heard that name before. Where is his place of business?
In the alley.
No, where does he transact his affairs from?
Oh, from a horse and wagon.
No, Bertie. What Mr. Gildersleeve is driving at is, where does he live? Where does he sleep? Where does he get his telephone calls?
At the corner of 33rd and the railroad track. What'd you say?
Well, let's go to the railroad track.
Yes, we've got to get that deer back before that Skinner returns.
Oh, that reminds me, Mr. Gildersleeve. Isn't it a little bit late in the season to be hunting deer?
Careful with those antlers, Llewellyn.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Mailman, you lower at the other end. You boys in the middle, steady now. Yes, steady. Yes, there it is. Yes. Thank you very much, boys.
Oh, I'm pretty tuckered out.
Yes. Trouble is you don't keep yourself in condition, Llewellyn. Well, shall we move Buck back into the storeroom or let him stay here in the hallway for Mr. Skinner to pick up?
Personally, I was hired as a bookkeeper, not as a longshoreman.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's leave it right here for Skinner. And remind me to tell Bertie that her friend, Joe Bush, charges $7 out of her April wages to get this metal moose back here.
Yes, sir. You know something, Mr. Gildersleeve? Every time I look at this statue, it reminds me of something.
Anybody you know?
No. I just can't recollect just what it reminds me of.
Oh, well, come with me, Llewellyn, and I'll show you where to wash up.
Oh, gladly.
Yeah, moving a thing like that's no Halloween prank. This way.
thank you for a very lovely lunch, Mr. Phelps.
Oh, don't thank me, Miss Marjorie. Thanks to Summerfield Ironworks. After all, they're the ones who are going to pay for it.
They will?
Sure. It's a necessary expense. You know, like entertaining an out-of-town buyer. Only in this case, it's an in-town seller.
Boy, what a line. You could use it as a leash for an elephant. Oh, look, somebody's moved the deer out of the storeroom for us. Well, I wonder how they knew you were buying it.
Well, I'll have my men load it onto the truck. Oh, Pete, you and Charlie can come in here now.
It was terribly nice of you to give me $20 for Buck, Mr. Phelps. Are you sure it's worth that much?
Oh, yes, of course. They're not putting iron like that into deers these days, you know.
No. Not unless they feed them spinach. Say, what are you going to do with it? Use it as a radiator cap for a tank?
No, we'll break it up with hammers and convert it back into pig iron. Well, that was a bright idea, telephoning us.
Yes, wasn't it? And won't everybody be surprised when they find out that I sold it? Well, here comes Mr. Skinner back again, Uncle Mort. I'll get it.
Yes, all right. Well, thank goodness. Now Leroy can let him cart that deer away, and we'll have the whole matter off our chest, Llewellyn.
A good widdance, too, I say.
Yeah. Certainly wasn't worth all the trouble it took. Leroy got $3.75, and it cost me $7 to get it back after Bertie sold it.
Hey, Uncle Mort, it's Mr. Skinner, all right.
Yeah?
Where'd you put the deer? It isn't in the storeroom.
Of course not. We left it in the hall. Can't you use your eyes?
Well, it isn't there now.
Well, it couldn't walk away. Did you move it, Llewellyn?
Me? After the struggle and trouble I had getting it through the front door? Oh, sir, my mother never raised any foolish children.
Yeah, we'll go in there.
I can't find it, Uncle Mort.
I've had enough of this horsing around. Who's the head of this wacky household?
I am, sir. What's the meaning of this intrusion?
Oh, it's you.
Oh, forgot.
Say, how many different people are you? First the junk man, then a pawnbroker, and now the papa around here.
He's our Uncle Mort.
That's right.
Oh, he's your uncle, too.
Oh, no. Not exactly, you see.
I think he's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and probably two other fellas.
Yes.
Hello, Uncle Mort. Say, what's going on in here?
This man, Skinner, bought our iron deer from Leroy, and now it's disappeared. For the second time.
Oh, my goodness. I just sold it to the Summerfield Ironworks for $20.
$20. No wonder you didn't want to turn it over to me for $3.75.
Oh.
Better give him back his money, Leroy.
I can't. I've spent it already.
Well, then you better give it to him out of the 20, Marjorie.
I've spent all mine, too.
Oh, jumping jeeps. Well, I'll have to give you the $3.75, mister.
Oh, no, you don't. What about all the time I wasted?
Huh?
And the cab fare? And the 2 trips with the truck? And the profit I'd have made selling it to the ironworks? You got to give me at least $10 for all my trouble.
$10 for $1? Why, you can go down to the river and take a good... You can take a good jump in the lake for yourself.
Yeah, well, I'll sue.
Excuse me, Mr. Gildersleeve. Can I speak to you privately?
Is it important?
Vitally. Come on over here.
What is it, Llewellyn?
You remember that there was something about that deer that reminded me of something, only I couldn't recall what?
Yes. What is it?
Well, I just recollected. Iron deers like that are scarce. They're rare antiques.
They are? They are?
Yeah, I read somewhere that they're a vanishing form of Americana. They're worth anywhere from $150 up to collectors and at museums.
Not so loud. That mule Skinner will hear you. Do you think we should pay him the $10 and get rid of him?
Absolutely. And then we should rush right down to the ironworks and rescue the deer before they break it up.
Oh, that's right. Break it up. Oh, we'll have to pay them back, too.
Yep.
$20 there, $10 to Skinner, $7 to Joe Bush. That's $37 it's going to cost me to get the deer back. Llewellyn, you better be right about the value of that iron casting
Or what, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Or else I'll quown you. Llewellyn, are you holding that statue carefully in the rumble seat?
I'm treating it as if it were very fragile.
Well, all we have to do is drive across town now and see what the antique dealers will offer.
Oh, wasn't it marvelous that we caught Harry?
Yeah.
I mean, Mr. Phelps.
Oh.
So he ordered them to break up Buck?
Yes. Well, I was going to tell you about that, Marjorie. I found out that young Phelps was going to save that thing as a souvenir.
He was?
Yes.
But it wasn't his to keep. It belonged to the company.
Oh, yes? Fat chance any company would pay $20 for $2 worth of scrap metal. That young man bought it for himself.
He did? Well, I wonder why.
Yeah. If you don't know why, nobody else does.
Mr. Gildersleeve. This is Mr. Abernathy, who's an expert on old hitching posts, sundials, and iron deer.
Yeah, how do you do, sir?
Oh, I'm glad to meet you.
Yeah.
I thought there was no use woading and unwoading the statuary till its authenticity was established.
Yes, that's right. Go ahead, Mr. Abernathy. Climb up and examine it to your heart's content.
Well, thank you. Well, say, this seems to be rather an unusual item. In fine condition.
It is? Oh, that's good news.
But there are several simple little tests, like the sound it makes when you knock on it.
Oh?
Just listen to that. Isn't that music to the ear?
I don't know. Does that mean it's genuine?
Yes.
And it certainly is music to the ear.
Gee, Unc, isn't it wonderful? Just like finding buried treasure.
Yeah.
Say, I like this item. I'll tell you what I'll do. Bring it in and I'll give you a check for $160. How's that?
Now, wait a minute. I'll make it 170.
Hey, cut that out, Leroy. That's a very nice offer, Mr. Abernathy. We'll take it. Llewellyn, I suppose you help me lift it out and then hand it down to me.
Okay. You grab hold of the wakes, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yes, all right. I've got him. Now, be careful.
Lucifer Llewellyn is always careful.
Easy now. This is worth a lot of money. Watch out it doesn't get away from you.
Well, I'll try to, but it's got a awfully slippery wump.
What?
Look out below!
Oh, look out! It's in 100 pieces. Well, that's the last time we'll ever try to pass that buck.
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in a few minutes. You know, food shopping is getting to be a science these days. Yes, I certainly take my hat off to you housewives. You know a lot about the quality and nutritional value of foods and how to serve your families really tasty and nourishing meals and still keep within your budgets. And that's why I'm sure so many housewives are asking for parquet margarine instead of just saying, some margarine, please. They know, you see, that parquet margarine is the modern margarine. Outstanding because it tastes so good. Outstanding, too, because of its fine quality and because it's a nourishing and wholesome year-round source of vitamin A. Yes, and these women know that parquet is an all-purpose margarine. Delicious for table use, a real flavor shortening for baking, and just about perfect for pan frying because it adds flavor and doesn't spatter or stick to the pan. So take a tip from these wise housewives. When you go to your food store, don't just ask for margarine, ask for parquet margarine. Then you'll know you're getting margarine at its best. Yes, tomorrow, ask your food dealer for parquet, Parkay. It's the delicious modern margarine made by Kraft.
Leroy, how can you whistle and chuckle and grin when we've just smashed $160 worth of iron deer?
I wanted to wait till we were alone, Unc. When old Buck busted up, something that was hidden inside of him came rolling out.
It did? What was it?
I picked it up so nobody would see. It's a great big wad of money.
Oh, my goodness. Maybe that crash was for the best. There's nobody else around here. Let me see it.
Here you are, Unc.
Wow, what a roll. Cut the string, Leroy.
There. Oh, boy.
Oh, darn it, we lose again. It's Confederate money. Good night.
Original music heard on this program was composed and conducted by William Randolph. This is Jim Bannon speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company and inviting you to be with us again next week at this same time for the further adventures of the great Gildersleeve. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. Each week at this time from Hollywood, California, Kraft presents Harold Peary as the Great Gildersleeve, written by Leonard L. Levinson. We'll hear from the Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But first, I wonder what you mean when you use the word progress, because here's what I mean. Progress means making the old things better and inventing new things that are better than the old. Well, that applies to foods as well as to other things, and modern margarine is an outstanding example. Yes, modern margarine, like Parquet margarine made by Kraft, is certainly a lot different from the margarines of even just a few years ago. Yes, all you have to do is to try Parquet margarine once to know it's different and better because it tastes so deliciously good. That's why Parquet margarine is a favorite everywhere, both for table use and for cooking, too. Now, you all know that proper nutrition is necessary to national defense. Well, Parquet margarine is a wholesome, highly nutritious food. In fact, it's one of the best sources of food energy you could serve. And every pound contains 9,000 units of important vitamin A. So get acquainted with this nourishing modern margarine. Delicious Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Remember, it's Parquet. P-A-R-K-A-Y. And now let's visit our friend, the great Gildersleeve.
Let me have some more of that green paper, Leroy. Thanks. Hey, who are you sending that necktie to?
It's for Cousin Clinton in Iowa.
Leroy, you can't do that. He's the one who sent you that tie last year.
Oh. Well, in that case, I'll mail it to Uncle Stanley.
Oh, no. Uncle Stanley gave it to Cousin Clinton the year before.
Well, Uncle Mort, how do you know?
Because I gave it to Uncle Stanley 4 years ago.
Oh, are you sure it's the same tie?
Oh, positively, Marjorie. I'd know those purple stripes and those orange dots anyplace.
But, gee, what'll I give Cousin Clinton?
Oh, I think we can skip him this year if we send him a Christmas card.
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Llewellyn.
Yes, Miss Marjorie.
Be sure to address a card to our Cousin Clinton, will you, please?
Yes, ma'am. Right away.
Say, how are you coming along with the addressing and the sealing, Llewellyn?
Well, I'm a widow groggy.
Yeah?
I feel as if I'd whipped my weight in Christmas seals. I wish they'd get some different flavored glue, like strawberry, raspberry, cherry, orange, lemon, or lime.
I'll come to that, Llewellyn. You're just a little ahead of time. Yeah. Here, Leroy, what are you doing?
Me? Oh, I just thought I'd see what's in this package Piggy Banks gave me.
But, Leroy, it's marked don't open until Christmas.
Yes. Haven't you any self-control or willpower, young man? Don't you realize that if you opened all your gifts ahead of time, when Christmas morning came around, you wouldn't have a single toy left to break?
But, gee, I caught Marjorie sniffing around the present you gave her, Uncle Mort.
I was not, Leroy.
Or two.
I just happened to drop it, and I was afraid it might be perfume.
Oh, yes. Well, it's not perfume. It's a whoops. I almost told you then. Now, both you children stop acting childish. Let me alone while I wrap this present. It's for Fibber McGee. I've already sent Molly McGee a big bottle of perfume, so I better get Fibber McGee's present in the mail for Wistful Vista tonight.
Oh, what did you get for him, Uncle Mort?
Something he needs badly. An electrical pants presser. It's a neat little gadget, isn't it? Although I doubt if it'll make much of an impression on those gunny sacks McGee wears.
You think that's enough of a gift for Mr. McGee?
Why not? Cost me 39 cents at the cut-rate drugstore.
39 cents?
Yeah.
But I thought Mr. McGee was a close friend of yours.
He is, Leroy. He's the closest friend I've got. And I'm not speaking geographically or intimately. I'm speaking financially.
Well, I never knew that.
Well, he isn't exactly tight. He's more of the borrow a tool today and return when rusty type. The more I think about the things McGee has borrowed, the less I think of him. Who does he imagine he is? The doorbell? I mean the doorbell. It's ringing. Yeah, I'll get it. Yes?
Is this your domicile at Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve?
It is.
This is it, Shorty. Okay, lift.
Hey, this is plenty heavy. Hey, where do you want this box, mister?
Put it right down here for now. What's in it, mister?
Just keep your shirt on, will you, buddy?
Oh,
All right, ready, Spike?
Yeah, let's get this over with.
All right.
A 1, a 2, a 3.
Oh, Gildersleeve, oh, Gildersleeve, a Merry Christmas to you. Oh, Gildersleeve, are you old-tied? Hallelujah. We've brung a great big gift, you see, from Wistful Vista's Fibber McGee. Oh, Gildersleeve, oh, Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, please sign here on the dotted line.
Well, singing expressman, eh?
Yeah. We are something in the nature of an experiment.
Oh, I see. You're doing it for the company to see if it's satisfactory, yeah?
Oh, no, we're doing it for the men to see if it's remunerative.
Oh, yes, I get it. Well, here you are, boys. A dime for each of you.
A dime? Why, Spike, this guy ain't got no respect for music.
Yeah, but he sure got a lot of respect for money.
I never saw a box so hard to get open.
Oh.
Must have taken me an hour. Yeah. Now to see what Fibber McGee has sent me.
What is it, Uncle Mort? Gee, another box.
Yeah?
And all done up with Christmas wrappings and stuff.
Oh, my goodness. Hand me the hatchet again, Leroy.
Oh, no, Unc. Can't you see what it says?
Where? Oh, don't open till Christmas. And this means you, Gildy old snoop. McGee never means what he says. The hatchet, please, Leroy.
But, Uncle Mort, where's your willpower?
Yes, and how about your self-control?
Oh, they're fine. It's my curiosity has got the best of me. Oh, gee, let me take one little peek, will you, huh?
Now who's acting childish, Uncle Mort?
You're right, Marjorie. I wasn't setting you a good example. Hand me some of that ribbon, and I'll get this pants presser off to my old chum. Oh, what am I saying? I can't send McGee this dinky little present now.
Why not?
Because that box probably contains a large, valuable gift for me. And alongside of it, my cheap little crease iron will look like, 39 cents.
What do you think you should do, Uncle?
I better go right downtown and get him something better.
Oh, I think that's very nice of you, Uncle Mort.
It sure is.
I think so, too. Now, in order to get an idea of how much McGee spent so I won't spend any more, don't you think I should take one quick little look as to what he sent me?
No!
All right, I was just suggesting.
Say, if you're going downtown, you better hurry up. It's getting late and the stores are awfully overcrowded.
Oh, I won't have any trouble. Get your cap and coat, Leroy.
I'll be right with you.
Are you taking Leroy through those mobs with you?
Yes, Marjorie. He and I have worked out a wonderful system for Christmas shopping. Haven't we, Leroy?
I'll say.
What kind of a system?
It's called the angleworm formation. Leroy goes ahead and figures out an angle, and I worm my way through.
This is certainly a ritzy store.
Yes. Haven't I always said that the best is none too good for Fibber McGee?
Well, how do you do, sir? What will it be?
I'm looking for a present for a friend.
Do you think he might like a half-dozen imported cravats?
Say, Unc, what's a cravat?
A cravat is a necktie that sells for $5, Leroy. No, I'd like to get him a more substantial gift. Oh, here's something. Maybe he'd like a dressing gown or a robe, huh?
Why, yes, we have some lovely ones. Say, in the neighborhood of $100.
Have you got anything in a cheaper neighborhood?
Well, here are a few in the vicinity of $60.
Oh, yes. This brown silk one would be exactly the right thing. If you have it in a smaller size and some other color and a different material and a little less expensive.
Well, then I'll have to go back in the stock room and see what we have there. If you'll just wait a moment.
Don't worry. Yes. Quit trying on those derbies, Leroy. You can never tell who wore them before you did.
But I only wanted to see how I looked in one, Unc.
How can you see when they come down to your nose on you? Now, just stand still.
Oh, just the sort of person I'm looking for. Oh, excuse me, sir, but there's a little favor I'd like to ask of you.
Certainly, madam. What can I do for you?
Well, do you see that man standing over there at the sweater counter?
Oh, you mean the funny-looking gent with the bat wing ears and the dirty look? Has he been annoying you?
No, he's my husband.
Oh, he is? Oh, well, I didn't mean that nice-looking chap. I was talking about the one in the checkered overcoat standing next to him. The fat guy that looks like a cross between a scow and a barge.
That's the one who's my husband, sir. You see, I want to surprise him with this pretty blue robe for Christmas.
Oh.
But I don't know if it's the right size for him, so I thought that being that you two are of the same build...
What? You think I'm as tubby as that tubby?
No. Oh, now, please. I don't want him to suspect a thing.
Why don't you help the lady out, Uncle Mort?
Huh? Yes, why not? Here, let me have it, madam. Hold it up, Leroy.
Okay.
Thanks.
Oh, this is so nice of you, really.
Not at all. Would you care to have me parade up and down like one of those models?
No, thank you. Now, just tie the belt.
Yeah.
Oh, there. Now, turn around, please.
Yeah?
Oh, dear.
What's wrong? Is my slip showing?
Well, either I picked the wrong size or else you're stouter than my husband.
No, see here, lady.
Well, we can soon see. I have a tape measure here in my bag somewhere.
Tape measure?
I know Leo's size.
Oh.
Let me see. Oh, yes, here it is. Now, if you'll just put your arms up, I'll slip this tape around your waist and find out what size.
Ellie! What are you doing with your arms around that man?
Oh, my goodness.
Huh?
He mustn't find out about the surprise.
What?
Pretend that you're my cousin George.
I said, why are you hugging this fella, Fanny?
Oh, Leo, it's Cousin George. I haven't seen him for years. You don't blame me for being glad to see my own cousin, do you?
No, not at all. Glad to meet you, George.
The pleasure's all mine.
Voice still changing, huh?
Yeah.
Well, George, Fanny's told me all about you, but I always picked you as a different man.
Well, I was a different man up till quite recently.
Oh, it's just too bad that Cousin George is just passing through town and can't stop over for a visit.
Huh?
Aren't you, Cousin George?
Who? Oh, me? Oh, yes, Cousin George. I just happened to be driving.
Driving? I thought you hated automobiles.
Do I?
Yeah, didn't the automobile ruin your horse collar business?
Oh, I don't know, did it? Oh, yes, of course. But I'm not one to hold a grudge.
You're not?
Well, not more than 20 years, anyway.
Say, that reminds me. What's happened to Francis these days?
Francis? Oh, he's all right.
He? Since when is Francis a he?
I mean, she's just dandy. I talked to her long distance only last night.
Talk to her? How can you talk long distance to a horse?
Well, you picked... Oh, that Francis. Yeah. I thought you meant the other Francis. You know the one I mean, don't you, Cousin Fanny?
Of course. Your wife.
Yeah. My what?
I never knew you were married, George, old boy.
Oh, well, it's all sort of a secret. We eloped to Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls. Boy, that's a hot one.
What's so hot about Niagara Falls?
Well, Leo just thinks it's funny that you'd elope to Niagara Falls when you've lived right there all your life.
Oh, my goodness. Sorry, I can't stand around here, folks. I've got to catch a train.
What about your automobile?
I hate him again. Come on, Leroy.
I'm coming, Pappy.
So that was your cousin George, Fanny, and you got the nerve to criticize my...
Oh, dear.
Wait a minute, Uncle Mort. Where are we going?
Out. Let's get away from there before that gorilla gets hep.
But if you'll just...
He'll wring my neck. How do I manage to get into such affairs?
It was Cousin Fanny that did it. Where are you taking me, Uncle Mort?
As far away as our chubby little legs will carry us. Now, don't dilly-dally, Leroy.
But, gee, Uncle, you can't scram like this.
I can't, huh? Why not? By George, it was a lucky thing I kept calm and cool all through that encounter.
But, Uncle Mort...
What have you been but Uncle Morting about, Leroy? Come out with it.
I've been trying to tell you all along. We've got to go back to the store.
Why?
You're still wearing that baby blue bathrobe.
Oh!
There they are now, Mr. Llewellyn.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Uncle Mort. Hello, Leroy.
Hello.
Oh. Did you get something nice for Mr. McGee?
No, we had a terrible time. I haven't been pushed around so much since my baby carriage days.
Gosh, you never saw so many places out of so much stuff that so many people wanted so bad.
What sort of present were you looking for?
Well, something unusual and expensive that he doesn't have already.
Yeah. Uncle Mort almost got a dandy baby blue bathrobe, but after he took it outside to see how it looked in the daylight, he took it back.
Yeah. Well, we'll go down and try it again tomorrow. Maybe you'll come along, Marjorie, to help me. Say, there's something missing in this room.
I was wondering how long it would be before you noticed the difference.
Well, what is it? Come, Llewellyn, don't be coy. What have you done?
I took Mr. McGee's present, wagged it out of here, and walked it in the wampus room closet.
You did, eh? And why did you do that?
Oh, just so you could resist opening it before Christmas.
Well, that took a lot of nerve.
Oh, no, it just took a lot of strength. Believe me, before I was through, I bitterly regretted starting the whole proposition. Willie, I was a wreck.
Yes, Mr. Llewellyn worked quite hard.
Llewellyn, the next time you poke your probing proboscis into my personal affairs, I'm going to take a swing at it.
What was that, Mr. Gildersleeve?
If you fool around with something that's no skin off your nose, why, by George, it will be.
Oh, please, Mr. Gildersleeve, don't lose your temper.
Who's losing their temper?
But you're raising your voice.
Who's raising their voice?
You're just angry because I hid your present.
Oh, is that so? I suppose you know everything that's going on in my mind.
Yep. I can read you like a dictionary.
Yes. If you can read me like a dictionary, why don't you turn to the letter D and under discharged? You'll find that's where you are.
Why, Mr. Gildersleeve, what do you mean?
I mean that you're fired, dismissed, finished, sacked. Now, do you understand?
Well, all right. If that's the way you feel. Goodbye. Goodbye, Miss Marjorie.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Leroy.
Goodbye, Mr. Llewellyn.
What's he getting so huffy about? I never saw such an excitable fellow in all my life. But the man has got no Christmas spirit. Making me fire him right before the holidays.
Hey, he didn't get us paid, did he, Uncle Mort?
By Jove, that's right. You better run after him, Leroy, and tell him to come back for his money.
Okay, Uncle Mort.
And Leroy.
Yes, Unc?
Tell him if he behaves himself, he can come back to work.
Sure.
He had no right getting me all worked up after a hard day's shopping. I'm not an unreasonable man, am I, Marjorie?
Of course not, Uncle Mort.
Yeah, I'm just as nice as the next man. Sometimes nicer, too.
I couldn't see him anywhere, Uncle Mort.
You mean he's gone?
Well, it was snowing rather hard.
Oh, jumping jeeps. I've turned him out into the cold with only a thin mackintosh.
Oh, now don't you worry, Uncle Mort. Just call him at his hotel tomorrow after you've both cooled off.
Yes, of course. Oh, I can't do that. I don't know where he lives. Do either of you?
No, I don't think so.
Not me.
Oh, my goodness. I'm a cad. I'm a bounder. No, not a bounder, just a cad. I won't be able to look myself in the face the next time I shave. What'll I do?
Say, maybe Bertie knows where he lives.
Oh, yes, Bertie. Maybe she does. I'll go find out. Bertie?
Yes, sir?
Do you know where... Llewellyn, what are you doing here?
Oh, just eating my supper, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh! Going down?
Hey, wait a minute!
No use, Leroy. They're booking passage on those elevators a couple of days in advance. Let's wander into the furniture department.
Well, we've looked every place else for a present. Maybe we'll find something there.
Yes. I wasn't thinking about Fibber McGee's present, Marjorie. I only wanted to rest. My feet ache clear up to my shoulder blades.
Oh, poor Uncle Mort.
Yeah.
Look, here's a nice big leather chair.
Huh?
Try it, why don't you?
Oh, thank you. I will. Very comfortable. Now, if I could only take my shoes off, but there I go, daydreaming again.
Hey, look at the buttons on the arm of this chair.
Huh?
I wonder what this one does.
Ooh. Help me. The chair is now a bed.
Oh, Leroy, now look what you've done.
Gee, the back goes down and the bottom comes up. Here, I'll give you a hand, Unc.
No, on second thought, this is so nice, I think I'll take 40 winks. Wake me up in 1942, will you?
Uncle, you can't sleep there.
Oh, yes, I can. Watch me. Say, this is certainly a great invention.
Now, I wonder what this button does.
You spoiled everything. It's a chair again.
How do, folks? Interested in the Snorwell reclining chair?
Oh, is that what it is? Well, mighty cozy little one-man couch.
And an ideal Christmas present for father, husband, friend, or boss.
Uncle McGee, how about it?
Yes, Uncle McGee. How about it?
Yes. Say, that's not a bad idea. In fact, it's the best one I've had so far.
Let me tell you about some of the Snorwell features.
Oh.
3 comfy, cuddly positions.
Yes?
Sitting, snoozing, and sleeping. Made of the toughest bull leather. Overstuffed, underslung. Why, you couldn't be more tickled if you bought a feather bed.
Huh?
Buy one for the rest of your life. Catch on?
Yes.
Oh, brother. Now, there's a salesman.
What do you think, Uncle Mort?
Well, how much is it?
$39.95. That's without any of the accessories and attachments, of course.
Oh,
You mean it's got attachments like a vacuum cleaner?
Yes, sir. The Snorwell is the first fully mechanized chair.
Well, I'm interested now. This is for a friend of mine who is rather mechanically minded.
Yes?
Yes, he invented an illuminated sundial once. For cloudy days, you know. No, you wouldn't know.
Let me show you these features.
Huh?
Here's the overhead reading lamp, also dandy for shaving.
Yes.
Then we have a combination ashtray and cigar lighter that appears and disappears at the touch of a button.
What does it do with the ashes? Dump them under the rug?
We also have an electric clock in a compartment for sandwiches with a tank for ice water.
Gee, it does everything but sing you to sleep.
Yeah.
It'll do that, too.
What?
For $24 more, we'll put a little radio inside the headrest.
My goodness, if you tack a mailbox on the side of this chair, you could live in it. Oh, this one seems a little damaged. Look at this crack in it.
Crack?
Yeah.
That is no crack.
What?
It's a slot for old razor blades.
Yes.
Gosh, Do you know, Uncle, the more I hear about it, the more I'm convinced that this is just the present for Mr. McGee.
So am I. Young man, how much would one cost with all the accessories?
Well, the Super Deluxe Shoot the Works model sells for $119.95.
Oh, my dear. But what do you think, children?
Oh, yes, take it.
What do you got to lose?
$119.95. But I guess I'll do it just the same.
Gee, I knew I'd sell one of these someday.
What?
Where is it to be delivered, sir?
It goes to Fibber McGee, 79 Wistful Vista, Wistful Vista. Yeah. Can you have it delivered there before Christmas?
Yes, sir. We can send it out by express this afternoon.
Yeah, good. Charge it to Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. Here's my card.
Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve, and season's greetings.
Yeah. Merry Christmas to you. Come on, you two. We can go home now. Certainly is a load off my... Well, hello, Judge Hooker. Christmas shopping, I see.
Oh, hello, Gildersleeve. How are you, Marjorie?
Just fine, Judge Hooker.
Season's greetings, Judge.
Thank you. You all look so happy there can only be one reason.
Yeah?
You just finished buying the last of your holiday gifts.
Yes, that's it. And it certainly was a humdinger.
Yes, sir. It was for...
Leroy, let's keep it a secret. It was for a certain very good friend of mine, Judge.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, a real pal, you know. Well, we'll be seeing you. Come on, children. Let's make another try for the elevator.
Say, could that present be for me? After all, I have been a pal to him. I'd just like to know. Young man.
Yes, sir?
My friend who was just here, he told me what he bought, but it slipped my mind. What was it again?
Oh, it was a present. A Snorwell reclining chair with $80 worth of accessories.
Well, that must be for me. Gildersleeve broke the springs in my best lounge chair, and now he's making up for it. Say, now I'll have to get him something better than that flashlight I bought him for Christmas. Thank you, young man. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Gee whiz. So that's Fibber McGee.
What's that? Sounds like something going on in this house. Mm-mm. Sounds like somebody's raising a rumpus in the rumpus room. I'm going to investigate. I don't know why I'm so brave. In fact, I don't know if I'm so brave. I better stop here in the kitchen first. Now I feel better. Peculiar how much confidence a couple of carving knives gives a lady. Stop what you're doing. I got you surrounded. I got you covered.
Bertie, what are you doing here at this time of the night?
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve. Oh, my goodness. I thought it was a burglar. Oh, my stars and the firmament. That was a burglar.
Huh?
What's that all chopped up, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Oh, chopped up? Oh, well, that's the present Mr. McGee sent me.
Oh, then that means there wasn't no burglar nohow.
Huh?
Honest or truly, Mr. Gildersleeve, you ought to be ashamed of yourself scaring folks at 3 a.m. in the morning and sneaking around in your pajamas, snooping at your Christmas presents ahead of time. Lucky I caught you before you got it open. Now, you go on back to bed.
Yeah, but Bertie.
Go on now, get. You understand what that is?
No.
You know what you is?
No, what?
You is a problem uncle, that's what. Good night.
Oh, Judge Hooker, yes. Come right in, Judge.
I'm still a few days early, but I couldn't wait. Merry Christmas, Gildersleeve.
Well, and what's this?
Oh, just a little present I picked out for you, Gildy, old pal.
For me? Oh, well, what is it, Judge?
Set of matched golf clubs in a leather bag.
Oh, Judge, you shouldn't have done it. By the way, I've got something for you.
Oh, no. Why, I didn't expect anything.
Well, it isn't very much.
Oh, I'll bet it isn't.
Yeah. I had it right here in the hall.
Yeah?
Oh, yes, here it is. This little box.
Huh? This little box?
Huh?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much, Gildy.
Oh, won't you come in and look at our tree, Judge?
No, I've got to be getting along now. I a headache coming on.
Oh.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, and thanks for the wonderful present, old pal.
Welcome. Goodbye.
Yeah. Say, Marjorie, look at the dandy golf outfit Judge Hooker gave me for Christmas.
Oh, look at that. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
What did you give him, Uncle Mort?
The pants presser I almost sent to McGee.
Hey, will you two come into the rumpus room?
Oh, sure. Come on, Marjorie. What is it, Leroy?
Look at this. Somebody tried to get into the box Fibber McGee sent Uncle Mort.
Oh, why, yeah. Chips and splinters all around, and holes in the box. Why, who could have done it, Uncle?
A mice. Hey, we better take a look inside to see if it's damaged any.
But it's still 4 days till Christmas, Unc.
Well, but who knows what's happened to it? We better act quickly. Let me have that hatchet. Thank you. Of course, you know I'd never open it under ordinary circumstances. There. Put the lid someplace, Leroy. Well, everything's all right so far. At last. I'm so excited I can hardly tear off the wrappings. Now we can see what we can see. What's this? Oh, a card. Dear Chum Gildy. Oh, good old Fibber. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And here's your old lawnmower back. Signed, Fibber McGee. Oh!
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in a few minutes. You know, people who won't try new things certainly miss a lot. Yes, you just can't know whether you really like something or not until you actually try it yourself. That's why I urge everyone to try delicious Parquet margarine, made by Kraft, because you're really missing something if you hadn't tried this truly modern margarine. First of all, you're missing the delicate, appetizing flavor that makes Parquet margarine outstanding. Why, Americans from coast to coast have found they prefer Parquet margarine because it tastes so good, both for table use and for cooking, too. Secondly, Parquet margarine is an economical source of food values your family needs. Now, that's very important these days. Proper nutrition is essential to national defense. You see, Parquet margarine is wholesome and nutritious. It's one of the best energy foods you could serve. And especially important in the wintertime, Kraft adds 9,000 units of vitamin A to every pound of Parquet, making it a dependable source of this vitamin the year round. Now, with food prices rising, you owe it to yourself to find out how delicious and nourishing economical Parquet margarine is. So don't put it off. Ask your food dealer tomorrow for Parquet, Parkay.
Hand me those pajamas, Leroy.
Here you are.
Yeah, thanks. And to think that now that extra shirt, Marjorie.
It's in the bag already, Uncle.
Oh, well, I'll sew him a thing or two.
Excuse me, Uncle Mort, but where are you going?
To Wistful Vista, my dear. I'm going to try and get back my $119 chair before it's delivered to Fibber McGee's house.
You aren't going to be way over Christmas, are you?
Oh, no, I'm just going to be there Tuesday night. And remind me on the way to the station. I've got to stop at the cut-rate drugstore.
What for?
To get McGee another pants presser. Merry Christmas, everybody, and good night.
Original music heard on this program was composed and conducted by William Randolph. This is Jim Bannon speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company and inviting you to be with us again next week at this same time for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve. This is the National Broadcasting Company. Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve. Each week at this time from Hollywood, California, Kraft presents Harold Peary as The Great Gildersleeve, written by Leonard L. Levinson. We'll hear from the Great Gildersleeve in just a moment. But first, let me tell you about a conversation I had the other day. A lady I know asked me, why do you speak of Parquet margarine as a modern margarine? Well, here's what I said. Parquet is a modern margarine because it's so different from the margarine of a few years back. You see, Parquet margarine is made by Kraft, and Kraft is famous for its fine quality, delicious tasting foods.
Yes, delicate, appetizing flavor is the big reason why Parquet margarine is different. It's grand both for table use and for cooking because it tastes so good. Another reason Parquet margarine is different is that it's a reliable, economical source of important vitamin A. Summer and winter, every pound of Parquet margarine contains 9,000 units of vitamin A. And that's something every mother and housewife should be glad to know. Besides, Parquet margarine is wonderfully wholesome and nutritious. Why, it's one of the best energy foods you can serve. But why not find out how deliciously good this modern margarine is yourself? Tomorrow, ask your dealer for Parquet. Parkay. And now let's visit our friend, the great Gildersleeve.
Good morning.
Oh, is that one of your Christmas shirts you're wearing?
Oh, no, Marjorie. And that reminds me. Next year, I hope you're more careful about giving my sizes to Aunt Sylvia. She sent me a 13 shirt and a pair of 17.5 socks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Huh?
But you know Aunt Sylvia.
Yeah.
Why, she still thinks I'm a baby.
Yeah?
She sent me a pound of gumdrops and a Mickey Mouse wristwatch.
Very good.
Oh, Bertie, are you busy?
No, Miss Marge. What can I do?
See if you can sweep up some of the pine needles under the trees. It's shedding like a $19 fur coat.
Mm-hmm. That's the kind of coat I got from a gentleman of Queens last Christmas.
Oh, well, that's too bad, Bertie.
Oh, I don't mind so much. The friendship only lasted till the 4th of July, but the bunny coat didn't start to give out until long about Labor Day.
Well, I hope you have better luck with your current boyfriend.
Oh, yes, Mr. Gildersleeve. Kurt is right. That boy's a real live wire. He done treated me to a course in 10 lessons in rumba dancing.
Well.
Bertie, are you going to learn to rumba?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I've been rumbing for years, Miss Marge. I'm just going to improve my technique.
Yeah.
Professor Guadalupe, that's my rumba teacher's name, Stonewall Jackson Guadalupe. He says I'll be a fine rumba dancer just as soon as I learn to put about twice as much energy into half as much work.
Yeah. I can see what he means. What else did you get for Christmas, Bertie, besides this course in the Cuban can-can?
Besides which?
In addition to your rumba coaching.
Oh, well, I received a bottle of the loveliest smelling lavender cologne and a box of the loveliest looking lavender face powder.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, indeed. I'm at my sunniness in lavender.
Yeah.
Did they match that perfume you had? The last time you saw Harlem?
Yeah.
No, ma'am. This is a new kind called Chattanooga Woo Woo. Or Tuxedo Unction.
Yes, Tuxedo Unction.
Well, I guess I better get up these pine needles with his action.
Yeah.
I just came from Piggy Bank's house, and you know what?
No, what?
He just gave me, that is, he wants to give me a swell Christmas present.
But, Leroy, Piggy gave you a pair of roller skates for Christmas.
Well, he feels it wasn't enough, so he wants to give me a swell puppy, and boy, is it a cute one.
Well, if it's so cute and swell, Leroy, why is he giving him away?
Because Piggy's father won't let him keep it.
He won't? What's the matter with him?
Oh, nothing's wrong with him. It's Piggy's father. He's got allergics. Sam, it's all right for me to have him, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. Is it a very big dog?
Who, Tiny? Say, he's just the right size for this house.
Oh, two-story dog, eh? Yeah.
What kind is he, Leroy?
Oh, a brown with white spots. What do you say, Uncle Morris?
No, I mean, what kind of a dog?
A boy dog. How about it, Uncle?
Well, I've always thought that a dog is a wonderful companion for a young man of your age, Leroy.
Gee, so do I.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, here comes more work for me.
No, Bertie, this dog is going to be Leroy's responsibility. You're to take care of him yourself, young man, understand?
You bet.
You better, because I know from experience when a dog comes snooping around the kitchen for a bite, it ain't particular what it takes that bite out of.
Yeah. Don't worry, Bertie. A dog is good for a boy. Yes, I recall the dog I owned when I was Leroy's age. Good old Hector. I can remember when he was a pup.
What kind of a dog was he, Uncle Mort?
Hector was a pug dog. Yeah. You know, the kind that looks as if it's always standing with its nose against a butcher shop window?
Yeah.
We had great times together, Hector and I. Almost broke my heart when I lost him.
Was he run over, Uncle?
No, Marjorie. He got too big to ride, and I traded him for a bicycle. Yeah. There's nothing like a little canine pal.
Oh, goodness to mercy. What's going on in the cellar?
Yeah. What can it be?
What?
That? Well, it might be my new dog, Tiny. Yeah, I wouldn't be a bit surprised. I left him in the cellar till I told you on the idea, Unc.
Yeah. Oh, I think we better investigate this idea of yours, Leroy. Come on.
Sure. Wait till you see him. He's the cutest pup you ever saw.
Oh, really? Turn on the lights, Leroy. Thanks. Oh, my goodness. He's chewing up all my old clothes.
Here, Tiny. Come on away from there. You want to get sick?
What?
Here, Tiny. Here, Tiny.
Get off of me with those dirty paws. Ye gods, look at the size of Tiny. He must be a Great Dane.
Huh? Oh, no, Unc. He's only half Great Dane.
What?
The other half is St. Bernard.
St. Bernard.
Oh, boy, look at that dog eat.
Yeah. His idea of heaven is a back porch full of pork chops. Yeah, look at him. The way he goes at it, you think meat grows on trees.
Did we get another 10 pounds, Unc?
Not until I arrange for a wholesale rate at the butcher shop, Leroy. It's down, Tiny, down. Every time he hears me mention butcher shop, whoop, quit licking my face, Tiny. Grab his tail, Leroy, before he knocks me over.
Get down, doggy. Come on.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, he's a smart dog. Every time he hears me say B-U-T-C-H-E-R, he wants to go chop shopping. You should have seen us down at the MEAT market.
What happened?
I tried to train him to carry the package home in his mouth.
Didn't it work?
No. Tiny thought it'd be easier to carry it home in his tummy. Well, I guess you can't teach a new dog old tricks.
Say, it's getting cold out here. Let's go inside.
Yes, all right. Hey, come on, Tiny. You can sit beside the fireplace if you promise not to chew the rug for dessert. Yeah?
Don't keep that door open so long, please, Mr. Gildersleeve. This cold weather is hard on us tropical folks.
Yes, all right, Bertie. Yeah, come on, Tiny, come on.
Quit sniffing around that icebox, dog.
Tiny, this way. No, keep away from the stove. I guess he's admiring your cooking, Bertie.
Well, he can admire till he's blue in the face, Leroy, but he ain't gonna get none of that there roast. I'm not cooking myself to a shadow over a hot stove for no truck horse of a Great Bernard.
Yes, look at there, Bertie. He loves you.
Get away from me, dog, before I smack you with this skillet.
But he's just playing.
Well, if he takes one step closer, he's gonna be playing a dog harp.
Come on, Tiny. Let's go into the living room.
The living room? You gonna turn that into a kennel?
Oh, no, Bertie. We'll be careful.
Careful, he says. What does 150 pounds of giddy puppy know about being careful?
Now, don't get excited, Bertie. You just take care of the kitchen department. This dog is Leroy's responsibility, and I've got a feeling in my bones. Oh! I shouldn't have mentioned bones. Get him off of me, Leroy. Grab his collar.
Come on, Tiny, this way. Come on, Bertie.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to have to start training this pup not to jump up and lick you every time you mention F-O-O-D.
How do you do that, Unc?
Well, you make him understand you're the master, Leroy. Look him straight in the eye and say, "Look out for that ashtray." Oh, his tail brushed it off the end table. Sweep it in the fireplace, Leroy, before Bertie sees it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gee, be careful, Tiny.
Yes, be careful, Tiny. Your tail will wag the room into a shambles.
See, maybe we can teach him to wag his tail up and down instead of from side to side.
I don't think it would work, Leroy.
Why not?
Well, I'm afraid that would go against the grain. Yeah. He's not only smart, he's a mimic. Now, come on, Tiny. Lay down like a nice little doggy. Oh, not over there. Keep away from that Christmas tree. Look out! Of all the clumsy, fumble-footed hounds. Get him out of here quickly before he does any more damage.
Yes, Uncle Mort. Yeah. Come on, Tiny. You gotta go out.
Yeah.
Sorry, old man. It'll take him a little while to get accustomed to our furniture, Uncle Mort.
Yes. Yeah. Will the furniture hold out that long? Help me get this tree back on its feet.
Help! Stop that! Somebody, get away from me!
Oh, now what? Well, I bet I know what it is.
Do something. Quick, please.
Hey, Bertie, what you doing standing in the sink?
It's that dog of yours, Leroy. Look.
Uh-oh.
What did he do?
He just chewed up the roast I had ready for dinner, and now he's drooling its meat.
Gee, Uncle, do you think Tiny will be all right out there in his new doghouse all night?
Why not, Leroy? I know I'd welcome a nice, big, comfy, warm piano box if I happen to be a dog. On a night like this, thank goodness I'm not.
But don't you think he'll get lonesome?
Lonesome, not if he keeps howling like that, he won't.
But suppose somebody complains.
Let him complain. I've had a hard day trying to cope with that baby buffalo, and now I'm ready for bed. Yeah. I'll probably have a nightmare in which Tiny takes me for a walk, dragging me along at the end of a leash.
Oh, that'd be awful.
I know it. That's what he did earlier this evening. Well, good night, Leroy.
Gee, I wonder what that can be about at this hour of night.
You guess. Hello? Who? Yes, this is Mr. Gildersleeve. It's one of the neighbors. What dog are you talking about? Oh, that dog, yeah. No, it's my nephew. No, it isn't my nephew. It's his dog. What? No, I won't take him in the house. I'm training him. Oh, yeah? I'd like to see you. Is that so? Well, you can go there yourself.
Where did he want you to go, Uncle Mort?
It's neither here nor there, Leroy.
Oh, I know where it is.
Get quiet. Let's go to bed now. Oh, why did Alexander Graham Bell have to do this to me? Hello? Look, mister, I've had enough out of you. If you don't stop bothering me, I'm going to call the police. Oh, this is the police. Well, hello, Sergeant. What can I do for you? Oh, sure. I'll be glad to. Right away, Sergeant. Goodbye. Leroy, I've changed my mind about Tiny. You run along outside and bring him in. That'll keep him quiet.
Oh, boy, can I keep him in my room, Uncle Mort?
You didn't think I'd let him sleep with me, did you? Oh, hello, Marjorie.
Hello, Uncle Mort. Look what I found under the rug in my room. 3 bones and an old corset.
Oh, more of Tiny's work.
Yes, he also ate all the flowers I received for Christmas. 2 pairs of silk stockings and almost a pound of my bath salt.
That dog did that?
Oh, he isn't a dog. He's an ostrich.
Now, my dear, we must have patience.
Oh.
Is that you, Leroy?
Yeah, me and Tiny. I'm going to take him upstairs to my room.
Fine. Good night, Leroy.
Sleep tight, Uncle. Good night, Marge. Good night.
Good night, my dear. I'm going to bed myself. Oh, my, I feel as tired as last month's lettuce. What's that? Who's there? Who's that under the bed? Is that you, Tiny? Oh, my, we always seem to meet. Oh, stop licking my face. Get out from under that bed, Tiny. Get up from there. No, don't stand up, you moose. Crawl out. Down, Tiny, down. This is the last straw. I'll be doggone if this dog isn't gone tomorrow. Of course I'm up. I didn't sleep a wink all night.
How you feeling, Uncle?
Terrible. That dog curled up under my bed, and then the bed curled up. He didn't give me a chance to shut an eye.
Did you try counting sheep?
I did, but Tiny kept chasing him around the room.
Gee, that's too bad.
It's all right. We're going to take this poison pup back to Piggy Bank's house today.
But Uncle Mort...
I won't hear a word, Leroy. I've got a splitting headache from lack of sleep. What time is it, anyway?
Gee, Uncle Mort, it's 11:30 already.
What? Out of my way, Leroy. I've got a 9 o'clock appointment.
Wouldn't the banks take him back, Uncle Mort?
No, Leroy. It seems that Piggy found him in some alley, and he developed a bad habit. Every time Mr. Banks bent over to light the fireplace, Tiny'd push him in.
Oh, it's just his animal spirits, Uncle Mort. Isn't it, Tiny, old boy?
You look out for the floor lamp. Now, Leroy, I don't like to beat. Oh, down, Tiny! Quit jumping all over me every time you hear something that sounds like delicatessen.
I think he's hungry again.
Again? Yes. No wonder Piggy gave him to you. Tiny's appetite is enough to break the banks. In fact, we've got to find someone to palm him off on before he eats us out of house. See who it is, Leroy.
Sure, Unc. Stay we are, Tiny.
Yeah, he will.
It's Judge Hooker. Come on in, Judge.
Well,
Good afternoon, folks. Well, look at the beautiful dog. Christmas present, Leroy?
Yeah, isn't he a humdinger?
Hello there, old boy. How are you, pal, huh? Good old dog, you sweet old pup.
isn't that disgusting?
Oh, don't you pay any attention to him, old boy. My, I wish I had a little puppy like you.
Oh, you do, eh? Well.
Yeah. Did I say something wrong?
Better be careful, Judge, or we'll let him take you home.
Why, I'd be tickled to death to have him. How about it, old man? Want to come home with me and bite into a nice big juicy steak? Hey,
oh, now you've done it!
Get this elephant off of me! Cut that out, you! Stop licking my face!
Oh, take your feet off the nice man's shoulders.
Get me up from here. Call off your dog, Leroy. Help!
Help me pull him off the judge,
Now let me give you a hand up, Hooker, old chap.
Don't you hooker old chap me, Gildersleeve. That's a dangerous dog you got there.
You're telling me.
He attacked me entirely without provocation.
He had plenty of provocation, Judge. You mentioned S-T-E-A-K.
Yes, Judge. This is a smart dog. You got to spell out F-O-O-D. You can't pronounce what you're talking about.
Gee whiz, I guess the judge won't take him now, Unc.
Oh, so that was your game, trying to stick me with his hamburger hound. Get away from me, Tiny. I'm glad I caught on in time.
What do you mean you caught on? Why, you couldn't catch on to a hippopotamus with a plunger in each hand.
Oh, I couldn't, huh? Look who's talking. Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, the Summerfield version of Dumbo.
Oop. One more ill-bred remark, Judge Hooker, and the governor will be up all night trying to pick your successor.
Go on. I'm not afraid of you, you big gas bag. Just about 97% hot air.
Is that so? Why, you little prehistoric dodo. Say, what's the other 3%?
Pure, unmitigated gall.
Yeah, thanks very much. Why, you little prehistoric dodo, I'm going to pin your ears so far back you'll even look like a jackass.
That's enough. I'm leaving. Goodbye, Leroy.
Are you sure you won't take Tiny, Judge?
I wouldn't have him if you gave me the Mississippi River and threw in your uncle besides. Goodbye, Tiny. And if Gildersleeve doesn't feed you right, bite him.
Yes. Goodbye, Judge. And the next time we meet... down, Tiny! Wrong Tiny! Oh, well, I bet he wouldn't have given the dog a good home anyway.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, the Eggman wants his money.
Eggman? Oh, yes. Send him in, Bertie. Hold on to Tiny, Leroy. He probably likes eggs, too. Come right in, sir. How much is the bill this week?
$2.53. That includes the chicken.
What's the matter, Tiny? Don't you like chicken?
Hey, that's a mighty fine-looking dog you got there, Sonny.
Well, I'm beginning to have my doubts.
Oh, yes. Isn't he a fine-looking dog, sir?
Yes.
I suppose you have a nice farm where a dog can romp to its heart's content. Lots to eat, no trouble with the fussy neighbors.
No, ain't had fallen out with the neighbors since, let me see, guess must have been the April of 1912. I remember it as clear as today, because Brian was running for the third time.
Later, Lum, later. Did I hear you express admiration for this imposing canine of yours?
No, but I certainly like that dog.
Pardon me.
Yeah. Reminds me of a hound friend of mine gave me in 1906. Or was it 1907? No, 1907 was the year of the panic. I got married that year, too. What a year.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, twere 07. Got the dog for a wedding present.
Yes, the dog makes a wonderful wedding present.
Oh.
I bet you'd like to have one like this to guard your chickens at night.
No, I don't need a dog for that. No, I ain't had a hen roost robbery since the summer of 1922. Or was it 19...
Come, 22 is good enough for me. Do you think you could use this nice dog?
Why, I certainly could. I need companionship. It gets kind of lonesome for me up at my place. All the children grown, married, and got kids of their own.
And scattered to the four winds, I suppose?
No, they're all sleeping and eating and fighting up at my place. See, that's why I need companionship.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we find that city life is a little too confining for Tiny here. Yeah. We're looking for a good home out in the country for him.
You'll take good care of him, won't you, Mr. Eggman?
Of course I will.
Yes. Well, here's your money for the eggs. Now, let me get Tiny into your car. Come on, nice doggy.
Gee, Unc, he wants to stay with you.
He does? Let me see. Oh, I know how we can get him to like you, Mr. Eggman. Suppose you tell me how you dispose of the livestock you raise on your farm.
Why, with the pigs, I smoke ham, skewer bacon, grind sausage.
That's right. Now you start toward the door. How about the cows?
Oh, make chip beef, smoked tongue, and liver sausage. Hey, there, don't get down off me. I'm an old fella. Here,
Keep it up, Mr. Eggman. You made a friend for life. Leroy, open the door.
Come on, honey, old fellow.
Don't stop. Head for the car with it. Go on. Certainly peaceful around here since we became dogless. Hand me the newspaper, will you, Marjorie?
Here you are, Uncle.
Thanks. Local beauty to give kisses with each defense bond purchased. Think I'll go downtown tomorrow. I might buy a few bonds for investment purposes, of course. What's this? Marjorie, here's a picture of that dog, Tiny.
Tiny? Are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure. There can't be two dogs that look that hungry. Listen to this. Has anyone seen this dog? Lost, strayed, or stolen from the home of Cecil P. Upshaw, president of the Summerfield National Bank. A valuable young Saskatchewan moose hound. Reward offered for return. Oh, my goodness. Leroy!
What is it, Uncle Mort?
Look at this paper. That dog is Tiny. We've got to get him back to Mr. Upshaw.
Oh, gee, yes, that reward.
Forget the reward. You realize that a lot of people know we had that dog? We've got to return that reindeer spaniel before we're arrested for dog napping.
Yeah? And we better go right out to the Eggman's farm and get him back.
That's right. Get your cap and coat. Where does he live?
I don't know. Do you, Marge? The Eggman? No, he's been coming here every Thursday for the past 10 years, but he never said where he lives.
Does anybody know his name?
No, I don't.
Neither do I.
Well, come on anyway, Leroy.
Okay, but where are we going?
We'll just have to drag all the chicken coops in the countryside for that bird. The bird. That reminds me. Birdie?
Yes, Mr. Gildersleeve?
Do you know where the Eggman lives?
Yes, sir.
Oh, fine. Where?
On a chicken farm.
I know that, but where? Do you happen to know his name?
Oh, just a second. I think I have it right.
Well, that'll be a little help. Don't forget your overcoat, Leroy.
Oh, I found it, Mr. Gildersleeve. I just looked on the side of the carton of eggs he brought today.
That was using the old bean. What is his name?
His name is Grade A Select.
I never saw such a narrow road in my life.
Oh, look, Uncle Mort. Here comes a load of hay. Make a whip.
Okay. I wish there was room for us to pass it. Yeah. All right, bossy. Let us through the pasture, please, bossy.
Look out, Unc. That ain't a bossy. That's a bull.
It is? Oh!
Gee, let's give up, Unc.
Just this one barn, Leroy, then I'm willing to call it quits. Hello in there.
Needn't shout, mister. I'm right here.
Oh, excuse me.
What is it?
We're looking for a man who... Why, it's you.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Eggman.
Good.
You remember that dog we gave you this afternoon? That big dog named Tiny?
Sure.
Well, we've got to have it back.
That's right. There's been some mistake.
And now we must return it.
I'm sorry, folks, but I can't do that.
You can't? Why not?
Because that there dog of yourn picked up and run away. That's why.
Oh. Quiet, Leroy. It's after midnight. Try not to wake anybody, including me.
What do you mean, Unc?
I'm practically walking in my sleep.
Oh, my tired. That certainly was one wild goose chase, Uncle Mort.
Yeah, I know it, Leroy, and your poor, tired, weary old uncle apologizes.
Skip it, Uncle. It was partly my fault.
Leroy, if we wanted to stand here and blame ourselves, we'd never get to bed. Good night.
Good night.
I don't think I'll bother to take my clothes off. Just my overcoat and hat and shoes. Well, I haven't the strength to get the coat off, just the shoes and the hat. Won't hurt me to sleep in my hat for once. Or my shoes. What's that? Great jumping jeeps. Tiny's come home to roost. Well, here we are, Leroy. Come on, Tiny.
Gee, Uncle Mort, Mr. Upshaw has a big place, hasn't he?
Yes, very beautiful ground, too. Just a second, I'll ask this gardener. I say, my good man, where can I find Mr. Cecil P. Upshaw?
Why, Mr. Upshaw, what can I do for you?
Oh, excuse me. My name is Gildersleeve. I brought a dog that I think is yours. Leroy, bring Tiny here.
Oh, there, Tiny. Take it easy.
Yeah.
Why, it is my dog.
Good.
Oh, thank you very much. Where's he been?
That's too big a subject to go into now, brother. Someday I'm going to write a book about it.
Why, oh, shame on you. What do you mean by running away from home? I'm greatly indebted to you, Mr. Gildersleeve. Please accept my sincerest thanks.
Gee, Unc, no reward?
Quiet, Leroy. I didn't come here for any reward.
Oh, yes. The reward in the newspapers. If you'll wait where you are, I'll be right back. Come on, boys.
Goodbye, Tiny.
Goodbye, Tiny.
Hey, Unc, I wonder what the reward will be.
Huh?
I bet he'll give us a lot of money out of his bank.
Oh, no, Leroy. The most you can ever expect from a bank is a new calendar. I won't be surprised if we get one left over from 1941.
I'm sorry I took so long, Mr. Gildersleeve, but here's your reward.
What?
Here, come here, boy.
What? Did you mean that after all the trouble we had to bring your blasted big beagle back, you're returning him to us?
Oh, no, this isn't Tiny. This is his sister, Pussy.
Oh! Get down, Pussy!
The great Gildersleeve will be with us again in a few minutes. But right now, here's a timely New Year's resolution that's not hard to keep. And that's to cut down your food budget and do it in a very pleasant way. Here's how. Start using tomorrow delicious Parquet margarine made by Kraft. Yes, using Parquet margarine is one sure way to economize on food without sacrificing flavor or food value. You see, Parquet margarine is no ordinary margarine. It's a delicious-tasting modern margarine that's rich in food elements your whole family needs. Yes, you'll like Parquet's delicate, satisfying flavor, whether you use it at the table for pan frying or as a flavor shortening for baking. And you'll appreciate the fact that Parquet margarine is such a nourishing, wholesome energy food and a reliable year-round source of vitamin A. That's why economizing with Parquet margarine is no hardship but a mighty pleasant way to cut down your food budget. So in 1942, resolve to try wholesome, nourishing Parquet margarine, the modern margarine that tastes so good, yet costs so little. But remember, don't just ask for margarine. Ask for Parquet margarine, spelled Parkay.
And so, Marjorie, when we told Mr. Upshaw that we didn't want another dog, he gave us this.
Oh, isn't that a beautiful basket of fruit?
Yeah, it's got just about every kind you ever heard of.
Yes, aren't those grapes luscious?
Oh, and that pineapple. So ripe and ready to eat.
Personally, I like the bananas the best.
Yeah. All in all, it's the most beautiful calendar the Summerfield National Bank has ever put out. Happy New Year, folks. Good night.
Original music heard on this program was composed and conducted by William Randolph. This is Jim Bannon speaking for the Kraft Cheese Company and inviting you to be with us again next week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve. This is the National Broadcasting Company.